What's up, everyone? The ninth Fast and Furious movie comes out soon, so in build up to it, I'll be attempting to review all 9 movies in the franchise. So today, that means I'll be reviewing The Fast and the Furious from 2001. Real quick before we get into the review, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think of The Fast and the Furious, and this is going to have spoilers for the movie if you haven't seen it, so you have been warned on that. Anyways, let's get into it. So the Fast and the Furious franchise has never been a franchise I've particularly loved. I enjoy the bits and pieces of each movie, and as a whole, it's an enjoyable franchise, but I've never loved the franchise, so I was actually pretty excited to dive back into them because it's been a few years since I watched through them. So like I said, going into this one, I was pretty excited to go back to the original, the one that started it all. And this movie is about Brian, who's played by Paul Walker, obviously, and he's an undercover cop in Los Angeles, and he gets into the street racing scene because they're trying to investigate the series of robbery, truck robberies that have been happening. So in the process of him investigating that, he gets really develops a relationship, a friendship with Vin Diesel and Vin Diesel's family or whatever. And that's really the plot of the movie, and it goes on from that aspect. And there's a lot of racing, there's action, there's drama. It's all in this movie. So overall, I actually had a really good time watching this movie. It's really a simple and entertaining movie about friendship and family, and it's really easy to watch, really kind of just mindless in a way. And there's a lot of really good action scenes in this movie, especially I like the racing scenes in this movie. I think they're done really well. There's not as many as you might think there is, and really in this franchise there's never as much racing as you think there is, and nowadays it's not even about racing in the modern ones. But I do enjoy the racing scenes in this. I think there's maybe 2 or 3 racing scenes in this one. They are really good when they are present. Like I mentioned, the action in this movie is also really good. Once again, not super often in this movie like it is with the modern movies, but the action, there's a good little chase scene at the end, and there's just a lot of fun action with cars and stuff. And if you like car action and cars and stuff, this movie's definitely for you. There's a lot of kind of nice shots of cars. And there's a lot of the characters are really into the cars, so there's a lot of stuff like that. And the scene towards the end where Dom's group tries to rob the truck, I think that's a really good action scene. Just really well shot and really intense, and it really holds the momentum of the scene. But it's just overall the action really does a good job, though. Once again, it's not there's not crazy amount of action in this movie. But the best part about this movie is really just kind of how mindless it is and how easy and fun it is to watch. It's I think there's a lot of fan service in this movie where it really just tells a story fans want to see. You have characters you like, and they go through struggles, but they win in the end, and it has a happy ending. And there's a lot of that kind of stuff, once again, while still being very easy to watch and very easy to consume. And I think that makes it really good. And even I do think this movie does hold a lot of emotion as well. You do learn to care about the characters throughout the movie, and it does get kind of emotional towards the end. But overall, this movie it treats the audience really well. It definitely respects the fact that it's a movie's purpose is to entertain, and this movie is incredibly entertaining, and it's like I said, super easy to watch. It's the kind of movie you can just turn on and have a good time watching it regardless. The main focus of this movie is really the characterization of Brian and Dom and Letty and Dom's sister, I don't remember her name, but that's really the main focus of the movie and really this franchise. I think this movie does a tremendous job, like I said, at making you care about these characters, developing them, developing their relationships. This one's much more about Dom and Brian than it is about the girlfriends in this one, but the characters aren't necessarily good, well written, deep characters, but you really like them, and they're a lot of fun to watch, and they really do a good job at just making you care about them. And I think that's really important for this franchise and what this movie's trying to do, where the whole time you have no problem rooting for these characters, and you really grow to care about them throughout the movie and throughout the franchise. And I think that's why this franchise is one of the reasons it's so popular, is it has maintained pretty much the entire cast throughout the entire franchise. Obviously, some of them don't have some people, and then obviously Paul Walker passed away, but throughout, for the most part, throughout, it does have these characters in this set of characters. I think that's one of the reasons this franchise has remained so popular. But I just think this movie does a tremendous job with these characters, and that really goes a long way. But the best part about this movie is just how entertaining it is. You have really easy to watch drama elements where the characters say things that easily make sense, and it's kind of really straightforward on what it's about. You have the really good racing scenes with just they fit in the movie, and you really like the characters who are doing it. And like I said, the characterization in this movie really good. Once again, making the characters are very entertaining to watch as well. The action in this movie is really good. It has a fun kind of early 2000s vibe to it with like the soundtrack and just like the shots. It just look very early 2000s. How the characters talk, it feels very early 2000s. So that makes it a bit of a nostalgic movie, because once again it feels very in that not early 2000s time period. Once again, this came out in 2001, and the plot and the story in this movie really work from start to finish, with really, once again, it's about the relationships between the characters. That really goes full circle in the movie, as you know, you have these Dom and Brian who don't like each other at the beginning, and then by the end, you know, they've become friends, and that's really the main point of the movie. And I think the movie does a really good job with that, and really does a successful job at pulling that off. But overall, I think this movie is really the perfect, like, mindless action drama movie. In no way is it like a critically good movie, and it's not surprising that this franchise doesn't have good, like, Rotten Tomatoes scores, but that's not what it's about. These movies are about entertaining and, you know, being a good time, especially at the movie theaters, and I think this movie absolutely pulls that off. It's incredibly entertaining, incredibly easy to watch, and that's really the intention of the movie. But overall, at the end of the day, I think this movie is really, really good. The characters are really deep and good. They all have backstories. They all have things about them that make you care about them. It's entertaining. It's fun. It's just, like I said, a really good, you know, action drama movie. Not too in deep or anything, so you can just have a good time watching it. So I'm going to give The Fast and the Furious from 2001 a 4 out of 5 stars and an 85%. That score is heavily influenced by how entertaining the movie is, and it's once again quite an entertaining movie and just a fun movie to watch. So anyways, that's going to do it for my review of The Fast and the Furious. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think of The Fast and the Furious from 2001. Stay tuned. I will be reviewing Too Fast, Too Furious soon. I actually watched it last night, so I'm quite excited to review that one. It's definitely one of the more interesting ones in the franchise. Anyways, that's going to do it for the video. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.